Luxury without limits sounds like a dream, right? No budgets, no waiting, no restrictions. Just anything you want, whenever you want it. Private jets on standby. Mansions in every country. Cars you don't even drive yourself. A life where no simply doesn't exist. But the truth is, luxury without limits is not just about spending money. It's about removing reality's boundaries completely. Imagine waking up in a world where your schedule is already optimized before your eyes even open. The room adjusts itself to your sleep cycle. Soft lighting replaces sunrise. Your favorite music plays without you pressing a single button. Outside, a private chef is already preparing meals designed exactly for your health, energy, and mood. You don't plan your day, your life adapts to you. That's the first layer of limitless luxury. Because at this level, convenience becomes invisible. No waiting for taxis. No booking problems. No crowded spaces. No delays. A helicopter is always available. A private jet is always ready. Entire teams exist just to make sure movement across the world feels instant. Time stops feeling like something you spend. It becomes something you control. And that changes everything. But luxury without limits is not only about travel or possessions. It expands into environments that feel unreal. Imagine owning homes in multiple parts of the world, not as vacation spots, but as fully functioning private worlds. Each one designed differently. One overlooking the ocean. One hidden in the mountains. One inside a futuristic city skyline. Every detail customized to your taste before you even arrive. The temperature is perfect. The lighting is perfect. The silence is perfect. Everything responds to you like the world itself is listening. And maybe, in a way, it is because at the highest level of wealth, technology becomes an extension of lifestyle. Artificial intelligence manages your environment, your security, your comfort, even your privacy. Doors open without keys. Rooms adjust without commands. Entire systems operate silently in the background to make life feel effortless. But here's where it becomes even more extreme. Luxury without limits means experiences no one else can access. Private islands that don't appear on maps. Exclusive resorts with no public entry. Invitation-only events where even money isn't enough without status. A dinner prepared by world-class chefs in locations that are never announced to the public. These experiences don't just cost money. They require access to a hidden world. A world built on exclusivity itself. And exclusivity becomes the real currency of limitless luxury. Because once you can afford everything, the only thing left to desire is what others cannot have. But there's a deeper truth most people don't see. Luxury without limits slowly changes what normal means. When every problem is solved instantly, patience starts disappearing. When every desire is fulfilled quickly, waiting feels uncomfortable. When every environment is perfectly controlled, chaos outside begins to feel overwhelming. The world becomes too slow. Too loud. Too ordinary. And that shift is permanent for many people living at that level. Because unlimited comfort doesn't just elevate life, it reshapes perception. Even relationships become different. Trust becomes more important than ever. Privacy becomes essential. Social circles shrink naturally, not because of loneliness, but because only a few people understand that level of reality. Conversations shift from material things to ideas, access, legacy, and time. And speaking of time, that might be the most powerful part of luxury without limits. Because when money removes all delays, time becomes the only real obsession left. Private healthcare systems, longevity treatments, advanced wellness programs, personalized nutrition, sleep optimization, Recovery technologies, everything designed around one goal: extending quality life as much as possible. Not just living rich, but living longer, stronger, and more efficiently. In this world, even health becomes customized. But the illusion of no limits also hides something important. Because even at the highest level of wealth, limits still exist. Just different ones. Privacy must be protected constantly. Security must be managed everywhere. Reputation must be controlled carefully. And emotional distance often becomes part of the lifestyle without anyone noticing. So while it looks like freedom from the outside, inside, it becomes a carefully maintained system of balance. And yet, people still chase it endlessly. Because luxury without limits represents something deeply human. The desire to escape restriction. To live without waiting. To experience life at its fullest intensity. To turn imagination into reality without barriers. And that dream is powerful enough to drive entire industries. But here's where it goes even deeper. Because once someone truly enters this level of wealth, more stops meaning better. More becomes maintenance. More becomes responsibility. More becomes complexity. A third private jet doesn't feel like joy anymore, it feels like logistics. Another mansion doesn't feel exciting, it feels like another system that must be managed. Another luxury asset becomes another layer of coordination, staff, and upkeep. So the definition of limitless quietly shifts. It stops being about accumulation and starts becoming about optimization. The ultra-rich begin removing things instead of adding them. Fewer obligations. Fewer public appearances. Fewer distractions. Even fewer possessions that don't serve a direct purpose. Because true luxury at that level is not chaos of abundance. It is precision of simplicity. And ironically, that simplicity costs more than anything else. To maintain a lifestyle with zero friction, entire invisible infrastructures must exist. Security networks across countries. Travel coordination teams operating 24/7. Financial systems that move instantly across borders. Personal advisors managing everything from health to legal structure to global logistics. It is a silent machine built around one life. And the machine never sleeps. That is why luxury without limits is so misunderstood. From the outside, it looks like freedom. But from the inside, it is controlled perfection. Every detail refined. Every risk reduced. Every experience curated. And still, the human mind inside that system continues searching for something more, something real, something untouched by design. Because no matter how advanced luxury becomes, there is one thing it cannot fully manufacture. Uncontrolled moments. Unplanned emotions. Genuine unpredictability. And that is where even unlimited luxury quietly breaks. So in the end, luxury without limits is not a world without boundaries. It is a world where boundaries are hidden so well, they feel like freedom. And maybe that's the greatest illusion of all. Because the more perfect life becomes, the more carefully it has to be managed. And the more carefully it is managed, the more expensive it becomes to maintain the feeling of no limits. That is luxury without limits. Not endless freedom, but endless control that feels like freedom. And for most people watching from the outside, it will always look like a dream that never ends.